Confirm. Good. Looks good. Okay, my name is Patrick Hawe. I'm an associated member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker-dealer, and member of FINRA SIPC. All trades placed by myself are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Please take a moment, pause this video, read this disclosure. I really appreciate it. And position disclosure, these are my current positions, all longs. Nothing new today. Traded some Neo, but nothing new. Okay, so Lyft looked okay. I mean, it's tried, things seem to be turning around a little bit there. Kind of flat now. It was up, then down, then back up, now back down. Kind of flat. And what was the other one? I don't even remember what the other big name was today. Oh, Chipotle. Josh said the numbers are good. It's reacting well too. This thing's been pretty beaten up, but not too bad. What does this look like compared to Shop? Yeah, not too bad. Trading well off earnings. Okay, so let's talk about what happened today and what we're looking for tomorrow. So, coming into the morning, yesterday we got our inside rest day, but it was more of a bearish than a bullish inside rest day, closing on lows. And basically this morning's game plan was to play it both ways. So I tried to lay out levels for SPY, Qs, and like some of the bigger names, where it's just you keep it simple. Below here you can be short, above here you can be long, and don't do the opposite of that. Because I made the mistake so many times of coming into any day really where you have a bias one way, and even if you're like well game planned and you have a bias of shorting SPY below yesterday's low because it's definitely going to crash. If we break yesterday's low, we're definitely crashing, and then it snaps back up. And even if you have if you don't have good discipline, you're pulling your hair out right now. And two, even if you have good discipline and you get stopped out, I always used to make the mistake of having such a bias where I just sit there and can't believe what the market's doing and the market's wrong, right? But the market's never wrong, you are. So it's not easy to adjust and flip the other way when you think you're going to crash and then you snap back, and it's not necessarily easy to flip long, but that's why I just try to keep it simple. I mean, it's just levels, really. So this morning I basically said market, short 446, 445, long over 447. So this morning, kind of like a flat open with our ADMAs coming to pressure us down. And that's where kind of we started with some struggle, right? So struggling with 447, struggling with this 5-minute ADMA off the open, a bit of a flush lower. Some of us were definitely getting short into this flush, which, again, 446, you definitely could have. And then maybe you're probably getting stopped out right away, which probably makes you a little bit angry, but, just take that as a signal. And then, market can't really retest lows here. We make a higher low, and then right back up through 447, which was that long level. And that was it, really. Big grind up to 450 and then chop for the rest of the day. So, what Qs do? Similar, right? I think I said, what did I say for Qs? I said 354, 353 to be short under. So probably getting short here, maybe covering some and then getting stopped out. And then long over 355, which is right here when we break back up over 355. And the nice run to 360. So, this is why we do this as a day-by-day thing, because it's even just predicting a week out is too hard, especially in this market right now. So, Bulls looked good 2 days ago, Bears looked good yesterday, and now Bulls look good again. So, tomorrow, again, yesterday we closed below the 80 May. The 80 May, I was saying, was threatening to start curling back lower, start pushing us lower. We're building another wedge out here. But we closed really well, really strong today. And I think today can possibly signal an initiation, whatever you want to call it. Not like, it's not a huge breakout or anything, but SPY closed over this 450. So I think 460 is definitely in the cards now. And that would also give us a higher low and then a higher high for a move to 460. 460, huge resistance from all of this. We don't have to stop right at 460, but like 460 is big. Basically, every 5 points in SPY is going to be huge resistance starting at that 460. But yeah, I mean, Bulls did a great job today, and I think we can and should be looking for continuation tomorrow. I don't think, we say, oh, we're up today, so we'll be down tomorrow. I think Bulls made a good stance today. And IWM led us yesterday, and I would guess led us today, again, percentage-wise. Finally above 200, again, closed well. Got to get above this pivot, and then can really start looking for a move in this back to like 210 in IWM. So yeah. What else? I mean, some of the individual names that we wrote down and traded. I mean, I traded some Neo this morning. It opened, flushed, traded right back up through the high, bought it through 24, which was also the high, and then rolled over. Closed okay. I think this is definitely still in play, this 25 level, though. It's like 24.80, I guess, 25. But, you can kind of just see it over, like, this whole time frame, 24.80, 25. And I think like XPEV and LI basically did the same. Oh yeah, these were worse. Neo actually was the strongest. These rolled over and did not trade all that well. Same thing with LI. LI never triggered though. So XPEV, I think I said 37.50, 37, which 37, it got up to 37 and then kind of just chopped. Never triggered 37.50. And LI never triggered 39, but same thing with Neo 25, LI 29. Over the past 3 days, definitely in play and looking better with yet another rest day in front of it. Looking better. Apple, I said 171 was the level, so pretty much short. If it's below 171, you can be short, and if it's holding 171, you can be long versus 171. Apple spent the morning chopping around and obviously broke up with the market. AMD 124, which was the same level from yesterday. AMD, same thing, chopping around, and then, pretty much in sync when everything broke. Everything broke those major key levels, and you can see why, this is why they're important levels, because they get that kind of follow through. Google did not trigger 2800, stopped there to the penny today. So Google 2800 is still in play for tomorrow, either to buy it up through tomorrow, or if we gap up tomorrow, to buy it against 2800, which I think is possible because, we'll see how we gap, but I'm looking for continuation higher tomorrow. Tesla 900. Tesla, same thing as pretty much everything else, chopping around. Tesla. Oh yeah, so that was another. I guess that was something I wanted to talk about. Was what were the signals as that told us that the market was going to hold up today? And we definitely discussed it pretty well live time. I think anyway. Market was really chopping around here, and some of the bigger names. One, Microsoft. Microsoft got below. It ticked below 300 by 5 pennies, and that's it. No follow through at all, and then held up really well. So Microsoft was holding 300. Tesla was holding 900 as well, like a little blip right here, but all the same, holding 900. And then Apple was, not really at its lows either, just holding up. And while all that was happening, the VIX had a rally, but then fell back down here. So this can look at this candle at 10:15. At 10:15, that's an ugly candle for the VIX. And at 10:15, SPY is looking okay. But then right here, SPY's probably looking scary again. Back below the 80 MA, we're chopping around. We get up, we get rejected by the 5-minute 21, come back down. SPY in these moments of, what is this, like 10:25 to 10:35, SPY's looking scary there. But as SPY is looking scary, if Microsoft was breaking 300, that'd be bad. But Microsoft is holding up okay in those moments. Tesla's still holding 900 in those moments. And most importantly, VIX is looking bearish in those moments. VIX is not if VIX was bull flagging up here in those moments, it would have been different. But, VIX was arguably failing and then bear flagging here in those moments when SPY looked scary. So I thought we called that real time pretty well, that, VIX was kind of going lower. Things were not breaking down. And then the market broke up. And that's when, again, a lot of these key names broke their levels. So, yeah. And then Piton was great. I don't know if I feel like not too many people caught this today. I hope some people did. But I said 30 for Piton, same thing as yesterday, which was really this, after this news came out, was really the only 32, kinda, but 30 was definitely a solid level, which yesterday spent a lot of time with as well, struggling. 30 was that level to watch, which today it opened, blips under 30 and then back above 30 and never looked back. So that was Peloton today. That's the market. That's today. And again, I think everything, SPY, great close, Q's, solid close, and again, today, Gabriel asked a pretty good question on Neo. Is tomorrow, if Neo breaks out 25, is tomorrow considered a day 2? And while it is a day 2 up, not really, because it's the initiation through the breakout. So Q's, again, I'm kind of think we could get continuation tomorrow based on how strong we were today and how we failed to break down when bears looked like this was bears' chance, in my opinion, after yesterday. Look at those Qs. They looked pretty ugly. Now with this snapback, bulls definitely have a shot here. So Qs over 360, long play for tomorrow. So, yeah, again, with Gabriel's question, I don't think, I guess my point is, even though we were strong today, if we're up tomorrow, I'm not shorting tomorrow. I think we can definitely, SPYs easily could go to 455 tomorrow. And again, really, first target 460. SPYs did a great job holding this low, held 445, and now closed well. So, good job to the bulls, and I think there's more in store for the bulls this week, but we'll see. It's been a day-by-day thing, so again, that could change again tomorrow. So yeah, that's all I think I really have to go over and discuss. Again, I think we did a nice job calling that market rally with the VIX looking weak around here. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, thoughts, definitely feel free to share them. I'll scroll back up in the VTF. Yeah, market's never wrong, you are. It's a phrase I like to say. Pat, can I talk about the futures? Which symbols do you look at? What does it mean for you? How do you involve them into SPY and your market analysis for the day, please? Well, just, however they gap. I just like to look at any type of chart, really. So, the chart I share in my morning note is from investing.com, and they always just show whatever forward contract. And it's free. I think it's live time too. It's free. So it helps to just look at like a 1 hour chart or like a 4 hour chart of the future. Like look at this 4 hour chart. This looks pretty bullish, right? To just I don't know. I mean, SPY shows the pre-market action pretty well. It doesn't show quite everything though, and sometimes it just helps with gap analysis where, you know, if if you're just looking at a SPY gap blindly, it helps with looking at like how the action, how the chart, the price action of the actual futures looks, and whether they look bullish or bearish. So yeah, I mean, in terms of symbols, I mean, I think I'd call it ES in my note. Where's this 10 year at? 10 years at 196. But S&P futures is ES, NASDAQ is NQ, Russell is RTY, oil is CL. Oops. That's all I really look at. So, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Also, I guess just one other point on that is I think the futures market is the most important. Like, what matters the most, SPY, SPX cash, or the futures? I would say the futures. So I look at levels in futures and then translate them to SPY. Like I don't think SPY sells. I don't think futures S&P futures sell off because SPY hits a level. I think SPY hits a level because S&P or SPY sells off because S&P futures hit a level and sell off. If anyone disagrees, then definitely, I might be stupid, but that's just kind of like what I've observed over time. AA, yeah, AA was crazy today. I was looking at this over here for short and I missed it. Obviously, you like to be long this, but yeah, great volume off the open. This had a level too, right? Yeah, kind of this like 60. Is this all-time highs? Oh no, I guess not. Wow. But still, breaking out of all this consolidation, this 65 level held off the open right through 66. Really great volume. Again, I always talk about volume being such a tell for whether something's gonna go. Usually, even in the first like 1 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes obviously here, but I bet even in the first like 2 minutes. Yeah, look at that 2 minute volume. This is what it looked like a couple days ago off the open, couple days off the open, then this volume just this whole time is just crazy. So even though you might have missed this rip, definitely possible to get in here. Derrick would have loved those trades. Yeah, for sure, Judy. If you're buy when you feel like you're gonna throw up because you're so scared, and sell, take some profits when you think you're the best trader ever. BKKT. Yeah, I know you've been talking about this one. I mean, it looks good versus like this candle's low. Just I would treat this as like an initiation with the volume. And it really shouldn't. I would think it should not trade below this low based on this volume if this is actually curling up the way I assume that you're predicting it's going to. With again kind of your first target 8, and then 10, and we'll see if that happens. But it looks okay. It looks like it's trying to base and curl out. Gabriel's leaning long tomorrow if the breakout setups have trigger. Pat, let me know what you think of trade. LVS volume was going up and I was getting to that 46 spot in the daily chart. I remember talking about this in the morning meeting. I thought maybe it was going to break out at 9:45. I ended up getting stopped out. No 121. So I don't remember exactly what I said in the morning meeting, but I probably said something along the lines of like you can try it through 46, otherwise want to see 45 holds. So I definitely, that sucks that you got triggered and got stopped. But maybe if you kept watching it and knew your levels and you knew 45 was a level, I mean, look at this here. Not saying you're buying 45.01, but you're watching it come into 45. It looks like a trigger. Yeah, 44.99. So it broke 45 right back up. So, maybe in hindsight, definitely a chance to get back in here, which would have paid you. And then I guess the only other thing I would say would be at 9:45 when you're buying, like 9:40, 9:45. I guess actually the market looked weak, but had the possibility of breaking up at that time. So yeah, I don't hate it. My thoughts are, I don't hate it. It sucks that you got stopped out here. But also, if you knew, which hopefully you did, 46 is a level, but 45 is a level 2. If you kept watching it and saw this off 45, you definitely could have tried it again. Which hopefully that, you lose your risk here, and then this gives you 2 to 3 risk reward, and you end up getting paid on it. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but yeah, that's my comments. Yeah, Nick P agrees with me on futures. Not. Oh, Varun's talking about all-time highs for that. CMG, check it. Yeah, I saw it was getting bid up. Is it still strong? Off numbers? Yeah. Thanks, Rich. Let me see if there's any questions on YouTube. Sebastian. Hey, Pat. How do you think of CHRW above 90 for tomorrow, 2 inside days, and still extended from the ADMA? Interesting. I assume this is earnings, which I don't like. I've been a big voice in saying in this market they're more likely to sell good numbers than they are buy bad numbers, aka bad numbers they're absolutely destroying with Facebook, PayPal, and so on. I like the idea. I don't like how I wish that, I don't hate that they didn't break 90 today, but I wish they closed it better. They sold it all the way back down to new lows. So I don't really like that. But yeah, you can try it through 90. I definitely don't hate the idea. I would probably just keep it tight. Because what's this high? This high's 90.05, 90.02. 90.01, so there's a chance that it triggers and then stops you out. So I'd probably just keep it tight, and then if it, if you keep it tight, you can afford to try it a couple times. So yeah, I don't hate the idea, but I definitely don't love it because it looks like it's, selling off bad earnings, and you could almost also short it below 88. I think you could be long over 90 and short below 88. That's kind of what I'm trying to do in this market, is look at things both ways and be flexible. Also, if you have a setup that you really like and you pretend to play it at the open but it doesn't trigger right away and ends up breaking in the afternoon with small volume. Probably not, Sebastian, no. Because there's just less time to get rewarded. And then, you get rewarded, you take your size off, and then you're comfortable overnight. So, probably not. I mean, it depends, but probably not. I wouldn't say no. Made money today, but I got shaken out of SPY on the up move. So looking at ES intraday at 9:45, breaking pivot high point from 8:30, where ES gets opening volume. So that would have been a signal for SPY. And follow higher, break a day high. Oops. Okay, let me read this question again. Breaking pivot today at 9:45. My trading view, these candles can be a little off sometimes. So that would have been the signal for SPY. I mean, I wouldn't really be looking at 8:30 volume in any serious way. So that would have been the signal for SPY to follow higher. 10:25. Yes, break a day high. I think you're overthinking it a little bit, Robert. And my answer is no. During the day, I watch SPY and VIX and VXX. I don't watch the futures during the day when SPY is open. No need to. But I certainly, whatever, check it in the morning. Check the charts in the morning pre-market. But during the day, I just watch SPY. It's not like you're not going to be able to see something in ES and then go back to your SPY and type up SPY and make a trade off that, like some arbitrage stuff. Like there's no way. So yeah. Can I discuss the significance of daily moving averages at support and resistance? Do you have an example, DJ? Because I don't know, it's just like an extra. I mean, the answer pretty simple. It's just an extra layer of probability for that support and resistance level, which support and resistance levels really just come from just pivots and like candles. This is, looks like SPY got stuck around here. So what's this, like 470? It's kind of simple, but it's really what it is. So a moving average at support resistance certainly it's just it's an added layer of probability. But I wish, I don't know. Do you have any examples? If you do, I would love to take a look. Is AMD running right now? I don't know. Are the futures up? I don't know. I was long ETT, SQQ, ETTT. ETTT was long SQ off a 950 bar. Added 1015. Was good about trimming, as you called out the bottom in Qs. I held my remainder because I bought the ticket. So you're going long like here, and then you're adding. Nice job. Because I bought the ticket when I got stopped, I felt like I missed the move long. Is that correct or typical that if you're one way and get stopped, do you miss the move? Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying before. Like, if you're overly biased one way and then it's still early in the day too. I guess that's the other key thing. Like if it's before 11, typically stocks make their first. Typically stocks either make their high or their low of the day in the first like hour or so. So if it's before 11, 10:30, 11, anything can really happen, right? And then we've discussed, you usually don't get like midday reversals unless it's like a day four down and VIX is going wild. Then it doesn't really matter what time of the day it is. But anything can really happen. So, you know, you're buying in here, you're adding in here, looks good. You said you're good about trimming, that's great. You held some to buy the ticket, that's good. But over here, I mean, you're probably telling yourself this chart doesn't look so bullish anymore. If anything, this chart looks bearish. It couldn't make a new high. People are probably getting stopped here, so maybe either you're getting stopped here, and then the theme from this morning meeting was kind of this market can go either way, so just know your levels, and if you're below your breakdown levels, be short, but don't be short if you're back above those breakdown levels, and if you're above long levels, be long, but don't be long if you're back below those long levels. So maybe you're buying the ticket and you're holding SQQ. I mean, like, this is getting a little fancy now, but maybe, again, like, the theme is you can play it both ways, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. The market could break down or it could hold up and rally. So maybe you're buying the ticket and holding the ride, and your stop in SQQQQ is the low. But then over here, you're in real time, you're saying, this isn't looking so good for me now. And if that's not looking so good, this probably is looking good. So maybe your stop in SQQ is the day low, but then when you see real time, this isn't looking so good, you type up TQQ and, you buy some TQQ either versus this low or maybe versus this low, or if it goes through this pivot, you could even just be buying here. So, yeah. So I don't know. I hope that kind of helps because your question's a little vague. Just typical that if you're one way, you get stopped and miss the move. Yeah, it is typical that you get stopped and miss the move, but I'm trying to be better than that. There's no, if things are moving in a big way, there's no excuse to not be in the middle of some of that big move other than just not hitting the buttons. Just watch the charts, watch price action. Price action is everything. So, once things look bad, but then once they look good again, gotta adjust. Not off the top of my head, but sometimes support and resistance ranges are choppy, and when the daily moving average is in the mix, sometimes it's hard to know how I should respect it. Yeah, so support and resistance usually is like big numbers, like either whole numbers or half numbers, but it's not, as we know, the market's not perfect. SPY, like I was talking SPY 445 and 447. That doesn't mean that SPY is going to go down and hold 445.01 and then go up and hold 446.99. But sometimes, like, people, like big money that's buying at support, say, they're not saying buy, if $10 is support, they might not be saying buy at 10. They might be saying buy at 10 and under. So if price action looks heavy at 10, they might pull back and wait a little bit because they like it at 10, so they like it at 975 and 950, and they're not, then it's below 10, and oh my god, it's below 10, it's below support, but they're buying 10 and under, and then by the end of the day you get a tail up back above 10 and it closes above 10 because support was 10. And those are the times when I say, oh, look at this tail, like you lost, like when the IWM lost support somewhere over here, like 210. It lost 210 today, but it closed at 212, so that support's still valid because they were buying 210 and under. So yeah, I hope that helps. Looks like I got through all the questions. One more from YouTube. Pad SPY breakout higher tomorrow. Would you consider long? Yes, Tommy. I think SPY Looks like it should give us some continuation this week. And yeah, I think you can be long versus 450, and you could try buying through. You can either be long versus 450 now, or actually you should probably give it to 447, which is that real level from today, 447. But otherwise, you could try buying through 452. Today's high. You could try buying through 452 versus 450 tomorrow, with your first target 455 and then 460. Okay, cool. Looks like I got through everything. So yeah, I guess I'll call it for the night. Nice job with the bulls today. I think we did a pretty good job calling out the market throughout the morning. So hopefully you guys did okay today, or at least didn't get hurt. And we'll see if we get some continuation higher this week. Cool. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.